How did Gideon defeat his enemies? With God's help, of course. For worshiping fake gods and other evil acts, God had allowed the Midianites to overpower the Israelites for 7 years. Things were so terrible that the people cried out to God for help. An angel of the Lord appeared and told Gideon he would be the one to lead the people to victory. Humble Gideon asked the angel how that could be, since he was young and from an unimportant family in his tribe. Even though an angel had assured him, Gideon asked God for more proof. He put a piece of sheep's wool, called a fleece, on the dry ground. If the fleece was wet by the following morning, it would be a sign that God had chosen him. God did it, but Gideon was still unsure. He apologized, but asked if God on the next day would make the fleece dry but the ground wet. God again performed a miracle. Gideon and his army got up the next morning to make camp, but God said there were too many people. If they won, Israel's enemies could easily say it was because of how many soldiers they had instead of God's power. God told Gideon to send home anyone who was afraid. 22,000 people went home, leaving 10,000 to fight, which God said was still too many. He told Gideon to bring the people to a body of water. The ones who got down on their knees and put their faces near the water to drink were dismissed. The 300 who cupped their hands and brought the water to their mouths to drink stayed. The 300 men were divided into 3 groups surrounding the enemy. Each man had a trumpet and an empty jar with a torch inside. At Gideon's signal, everyone broke their jars, held their torches in their left hands, and blew their trumpets in their right hands. The book of Judges says they shouted,
"The sword of the Lord and of Gideon."
The enemy was completely surprised by all of the noise and light, probably thinking there were many more soldiers than just 300. The scriptures say they were so confused that they started attacking each other. True to his word, God had brought Gideon victory. So, how did Gideon defeat his enemies? With God's help, overseeing just 300 men with trumpets, jars, and torches. Read more about Gideon in the book of Judges, chapters 6 through 8. Do you have a question you want us to answer? Visit ChristianQuestions.com to submit a question of your own. Be sure to click the blue microphone to subscribe and get updates on new videos.